Hello, my name is Stuart. I'm a Kajabi expert from the UK, and today I'm going to show you how to add custom fonts to your Kajabi account. So you may have already noticed that in your Kajabi settings, you're a little bit limited by some of the fonts. So if you go to any page on your accounts and go to settings, and then you go to style guide, you will see at the top you have body font choice and you have a heading font choice, and that's about it. And if you click in one of the fonts, you can scroll through. You do get quite a lot, but there's no option to actually upload anything or add anything. So if you've got a design from a designer and you need to match their design, there's not really much you can do with the current state of fonts in Kajabi. And also with this, you're also limited because you can only assign one font for paragraph and one font for all headings. So if you go to heading font again, we can scroll through and it's just those options. That's it. So we can change those nicely enough. Click save. But as I said, if we have more than one font we'd like to use for headings, we're pretty stuck, and we'd have this for all of them. Sometimes it's really nice to have a secondary font, but if I have a header 4, it's going to be exactly the same font. There's nothing I can do. So what is the solution? Well, the good news is there is a way around it, and we can upload our own fonts. So the way you need to do it is to get your fonts as a TTF file. So I've downloaded a couple of my fonts here as TTFs, and we need to get those into our Kajabi. So to do that, we're going to go out of our pages. So to do that, we're going to go out, back into the website and then pages section. We're going to click on landing, and we're going to make a new landing page. And this page is going to be an assets page. So we don't have to worry about how this looks. We just want this to be a nice blank page. So where's that nice blank page? Let's just click on a streamlined home. That would be absolutely perfect. We're going to click started, and we're going to call this assets. And I always like to call this assets do not delete, just in case there's any other user in your account, they're looking through, they see, hang on, what's this page? And they delete it, because then that will ruin how the whole website looks later on. So let's click on create and let's make our page. And as I said, we don't have to worry about anything to do with the design of this page. We just need to upload our assets to it. So now the page is loaded. I'm going to just delete what's in this page at the moment. So let's delete, just so we can make it really clear. Right, let's keep one section, and we're going to make this full width. We're going to call this header 1 font upload. So we can even make this a header 1 now, just so we can see if it works. And secondly, we're going to now add a call to action to this bit of text. So we're going to go to call to action. We're going to click on the check. We're going to call this font Magro, because that's going to be a font I'm going to upload. And this is where we need to actually upload it. So if you click on button action, we're now going to click on download a file. And we're going to click on pick file. And now let's just browse for our file. And we're going to upload this. So we are going to search for our TTF. We're going to upload our Magro bold file. So I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to click on open. And now you can see the font file is uploading, which is fantastic. Great. So now let's click on save. Secondly, we can now see the link of our file. So now it's uploaded in our system. Kajabi now has this font stored. And it's not as simple as going into the settings and just selecting through one of the fonts and seeing if it's there, because it won't be. We are going to have to add some slight code into our site beforehand. So the code that we have is in my notes document here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this to the YouTube video as well. So you can just simply copy and paste this, and you will need to upload your file into between the URL speech marks. So now I'm going to show you where we find this. So we've got our code, which is great, but there's just a missing part. So just type in here. We need to now add our URL just in here in the code before we can add it into our Kajabi account. So how do we find that? Well, luckily it's lovely and easy. We're going to go back to our landing pages. And now we've got our asset page, do not delete. I'm just going to make this published. And then I'm going to copy the URL. So copy the URL. We're going to go into a new browser. We are going to paste this into the top of our browser. And to get the link, it's simply as easy as right-clicking on our new call to action button. Click copy link address. And now I'm going to drag my code back over. And I'm going to simply insert it between the speech marks where I've added insert link here. So now you can see the whole domain we have with our downloadable asset, which is the Almagro bold font. So fantastic. Now I'm going to show you where we put this code in Kajabi. So to do that, let's go back into our Kajabi. We're going to go to settings. And we're going to go to site settings. We're going to scroll down all the way to where it has a section called page scripts. And we want to add this into our header page script. And this essentially means that this is going to be read on every single page of our Kajabi site. So we're going to now copy that from the notepad that I have. We're going to paste this into here. And once you've pasted that in, the only bits you actually need to change are the parts with font family. So because I pasted this from somewhere before, we can see the font family says something else. So now let's simply, we're going to change that to Almagro. And then we want to look through and see, does it say it anywhere else? I'm going to scroll through. We have our file Almagro bold, fantastic. We want to add it into font family here as well. So let's just type in Almagro again. This part of the code is showing where this header is going to be associated to. So we have our header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is all the headers. We have our P, which is for paragraphs. We have A, which is our menu items. We have our .btn, which is for call to action buttons, and then we have .form/btn, which is for form buttons. So if I upload it like this, all of these are now, it's going to override Kajabi's settings, and it's going to use this new font for literally everything. So you might decide that you only want this one font for header 3, for example. So in that case, you would simply highlight the rest of them and delete. and then you would just delete the other sides as well. We just need a comma in between all of them. But for this time being, I'm going to keep everything here for now, just to make things easy, and I'll go back and change it. So I've checked that, I'm happy. I've got my font family in Magro, that's great. And I've assigned this to everything currently. So let's click save it, and then let's just see if it's worked. So I click save, I can see this is saving now in the browser. I'm going to go back into my asset page. So this is how it was looking before, with the standard Kajabi font associated to it. If I refresh it, fingers crossed, it's picking it up. Fantastic, it's already working, which is great. So you can also see it's picked up on my menu and my call to action buttons. So I don't think I really want that. I think that'd be too much. So what we can do, because that was a header 1 we made, we can go back into our website pages, and then we can go into landing. And then we can also so if we want to change that, we simply just go back into our settings, and we want to find the same part again. So we go site details, and let's scroll all the way down to where we have it before. So the page scripts, we've still got it there, which is great. So to make it easier, I always like to edit my code in Notepad++, because in the Kajabi area itself, you don't get loads of room. So if I'm to paste this again, I could save this as my new Magro font code. But if I didn't want it in everywhere apart from maybe the headers, I could delete these and then just delete the comma after, and copy that. And I can go back into my Kajabi. I can paste this, and now let's click save. And if I refresh, let's just see now, hopefully, yeah, that's worked already. So now the menu font and the button has changed to the standard Kajabi font that I had uploaded. So what happens if we want to upload 2 fonts? Luckily, that's very easy again. So all we'd need to do, we go back into our code, and we want to highlight everything from where it says @font face until the last bracket under the font family. We're going to copy that, press return a couple of times, and let's click paste again. And this time we might have another font. So I want to upload one called Instrument. And this time we're going to do it properly, and we're going to add it on Notepad++ instead of doing it in Kajabi like we did before. Nice to show you the wrong way to do it, just to keep everyone on their toes. So for Instrument, we're going to say, oh yeah, so we deleted. So this time for Instrument, we say we're going to want this for the paragraphs, for the menu items, the buttons and forms, but we want it left as the header to be the same as before. So we're going to delete all the headers in this part this time, and we're just going to keep the paragraph, menu, button and form button. So we've got our code ready, but we need to have our new link now. So we're going to go into our Kajabi again. We're going to go to our website pages. We're going to go to our assets page. So we're going to go landing, and then we're going to go to assets, do not delete. Let's click on Customize and let's start editing this page again. So we're going to go into our page, we're going to go into our block, and we're going to click on the three dots next to our text. We're going to duplicate this, and now we're going to call this paragraph font upload. And then this one's going to be called instrument. And then we're going to go to our call to action. Make sure I'm the right one. Go to our call to action. And then we're going to click on download a file. We're going to pick file. We're going to browse our file again. And then this time we want to have our instrument TTF. So let's just search TTF, and then we're going to do instrument. We're going to upload this. We're going to click on save. And now we're going to go back on the actual page of our assets page again, and we're going to refresh that. Now I can see my call to action link didn't change. Let's just go back in there and make sure we change the name of here, just to make sure we don't get confused. Let's go back into our assets page and refresh. Now let's do the same thing again. So we're going to right click on that button. We're going to click on copy link address. We're going to go back into our code, and we're just going to simply, where it has our link, we're going to delete that, and we're going to paste in our lovely new link with instrument. So great, let's try it. Let's select all of our new fonts. We're going to go back into Kajabi. We're going to escape out of our landing page again. We're going to go into our settings. We're going to go site details. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and now let's replace the code that we had before. So I'm just going to delete everything in there, and now we're going to paste all of our lovely new code that we've got. So let's click on save. So now if we've done this correctly, it should be showing on the paragraph and the menu text, etc. So let's go into our assets page, the actual page itself, refresh it, and now we can see we've got our instrument font associated to here. And I say, if you want to upload more fonts, it's exactly the same method. Add it through the code again. So if you wanted to add a different code just for your buttons, for example, we'd copy this code, a couple of spaces, paste it underneath. You would change the font family to be the new font again. And then you would upload your new assets into Kajabi, copy the link, would paste it into the code here again. And then you just simply need to change the formats of, if you had a paragraph below here, you need to make sure you don't have it there. Otherwise the code will get confused. So we could say we want to get rid of buttons for instrument, and then for another font, we could then make sure we just have to remove the paragraph and menu font. And then we would just do the same thing again. We'd put it back into our settings, and it just keeps on going like that. The only issue you might come into, sometimes designers, they might send you over a font and it's in a different format. So if you try and upload a font which is an OTF, it won't work. So for example, we go back into our web pages and we go to landing. let's go to asset page and let's click customize. If I wanted to create a new font, so just for practice while we're here, click on the three dots, duplicate it, and then we could say button upload. If we go to the call to action and we click pick file, we browse a file. So if I try and add an OTF font that I've got, it just won't even show it here in the search. So you can see I've got some OTF fonts on my page here, but it doesn't like it. So what you can do, if you don't have a TTF of it and the designer doesn't, the good news is, if we go to Google and then we simply just Google convert OTF to TTF, if you click on the first option, the cloud convert, and then we select our file, so now we can find that OTF file that we've got because we really want it in our Kajabi site. So let's go OTF. Here we go, we've got it, fantastic. So we can click on open, and then we simply just convert to TTF, which is the font file that we'd like. We create and click on convert, and we download it. And then you can be able to find our lovely new font that we've got. So we go back to browse files. We go to downloads, and we'll see it there right at the top. Fantastic. So now we can see that's uploading. And we can see that. And we go to our refresh our assets page. It's there ready to be right clicked and copied into our code. So I hope that helps with uploading your custom fonts. If you have any problems or any issues, or if I can explain anything much better, please let me know and I will help you and do my best. Thanks so much.